this is just me. There's no in between. So this
is just me.
Is just me.
Why there is no in between.
So
this ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I don't do half say what you're giving. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm. No in between. I don't do half say what you're giving. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then I'm This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to what you're giving.
Right, hello Facebook family, YouTube family. I do not expect today to go as planned because we have builders in the house. It's fabulous. If you look behind us, you'll see that even our furniture isn't really touching the wall. It's an optical illusion because literally 5 minutes before we had to start the show, we were still shoving the furniture back like as close to the wall as you could possibly get them. So just letting you know. Hi, I'm Nastine.
And that would make me Peter again.
We're the what are we?
I don't know.
We're the co-founders of Explore ProTech Entrepreneurial Haven. We're here to make sure that the good guys win for a change and that all entrepreneurs in the world have a safe space to do business in. So you are watching the Coffee Shop Conversation show. We have some of the best, awesome coaches and individual experts in the world on this show today. They're going to be giving you their absolute best value. Just on that note, so we're going to run the show as usual. We're going to do a game show format where our participants in the show put up the hearts on their screens if they're happy to answer a question for us. But we're going to be doing it a little bit differently as well, because we got some feedback from you guys. So a while back, we had a show where we answered only one question. And we were also bummed. We were like, oh my goodness, only one question. Like we didn't give that much value. But actually what you guys said was you really appreciated all the different perspectives you were getting from all the different industry experts. So what we decided to do for the foreseeable future, we're going to have one question, get as many different answers and inputs from our different industry experts, see how that goes. If we don't talk for an hour, that is fine. We don't have to talk for an hour. But if we do talk for an hour, that will be the maximum. But if we spend a little bit less time, that's also fine. Because all you guys want to know is like every single part of the answer, right? Okay, cool. So this is what we are going to go with today. So my beautiful, amazing people on the screen right now, I want you to remember to end off every single answer that you give us with your name and your company name and a little bit about what you do. Okay, got it? Cool. Okay, let's go for the very first question. Our only question. So we want to know from you guys today,
It's a big one.
what are the things that all good leaders do? Okay, so our topic is, what are the things that all good leaders do? And this one is from Sandra in the US. Okay, so let's see how many different perspectives we can get Sandra on this. And let's start off with the lovely, the lively, the living Linda Dent.
Put a few L's in there, right? Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Facebook fans. What do all great leaders do? In my opinion, the most important thing is something called care and growth. It's really important as a leader that you care, or at least show you care about the people in your team, in your networks, in your, what you might call your tribe or family. But especially it's important to show you care. And what I mean by that, it's not like knowing everything about them, all about their families and what problems they're going through, but it's just taking the time to listen and to ensure that you get where they're at on a given day. Because if you're about to push out a bunch of instructions related to work and say, come on, guys, we've got to get this finished by the end of the day, you want to know that they have the energy and they're here and present and in the moment. And if not, you got to take that time to have a conversation to find out what's preventing them from being completely present. And then the growth side, which is extremely important to me, because as you all know or should know, I have the glee jar, and the G of that glee stands for growth. Not only my growth, but those of the people who are in my care, whether that's my own daughters, whether it's people in a team, whether it's people in a project or a networking group, to help them to grow. And I do that, or I would do that, but any leader should do this through, again, listening, taking the opportunity to mentor when the time is right, to coach when the time is right, to advise when the time is right, and to tell when the time is right. And what I mean by that is there are different circumstances under which you will wear a different hat as a leader. But if you have in mind that your intention is that each of the people that you're working with gets to grow in some way, that they become more confident, they become stronger, they become more equipped to deal with the work demands, then you would have really made a difference in this world. And so that's something that I employed in my banking career and for all the teams that I used to look after. And today, in a sort of broader sense of networks and groups and tribes and wherever that leadership potential position takes me. I'm Linda Dent, Just Ask Linda business coaching, and I help my clients to pee with glee. Thank you.
And if you want to know what that means,
You're going to have to ask.
you're going to have to connect with Linda.
Just Ask Linda.
I love it. You're going to have to ask Linda. And her LinkedIn profile is thankfully linked for you guys in the description below, along with everyone else's. So you know where to find her. Go and ask her, what on earth does that mean? By the way, loving your background, Linda. You're rocking it. Love it. You YouTube celebrity, you. Okay, guys. So the next person that also had her hearts up was Janine Lingenfelder. Let's hear from you.
Hi there, thanks, Nastine. You know what, true leaders don't create followers. They create more leaders. And that's the beauty. Now, for me, I actually love this question. And a leader for me is CAT, C-A-T. And that stands for communication, a positive attitude, and the ability to delegate. That to me is a leader. So it really follows up to what Linda has also said. And one thing is really important is to ensure that the leader you are following is having those capabilities. If they don't, find another leader. It's really, for me, that's what it's about. Your leader also needs to be in line with your values, your true values. That is really important, because then that leader will create even more leaders, and you will be a leader because they follow you. So I just want to read something that I thought is really important and something to share with everyone. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions or her actions and the integrity of his or her intent. I think that's very powerful. I'm Janine, and I'm the owner of Jelani Sales. We specialize in cold calling. So we divorce you from all your sales tasks, whether it's cold calling, database management, or social media management. So don't call a PA, call a VA.
Love it. Thank you, Janine. That is awesome. I cannot wait to be divorced from all my sales tasks. Just have to tell you that. We love each other, but it's a bit much. So I'd rather you have a good relationship with my sales tasks than I. But I think what you said is very important. And thank you for the bit that you read to us at the end. It's very, very beautiful. Okay, guys, so that is Janine. Next up here from Stephen Levy, and this should be a real treat because Stephen specializes in leadership. So we've heard from a business coach, and with a specialization from the banking sector, and we've heard from a virtual assistant network owner and a virtual sales assistant, and now we're going straight into leadership specialization. So Stephen, what are the things that good leaders do?
Thanks, Nestine. And yeah, I think what Linda and what Janine said are 100%. That's really about what it is. I think leadership is not complex, but it's a tough responsibility, and that's what leadership, I believe, what leadership is. Leadership is responsibility, and there are very few leaders that I've had the privilege of working with and still work with and speaking to that will disagree that leaders and their teams are any company's most competitive advantage. So I have two rules that I work with for leadership. The one is that it starts with you, and the other one is it's not about you. And that brings me to the responsibility side. So leaders are responsible for the outcomes, but they're responsible to their teams and obviously all the other stakeholders. And what I mean by that is they're responsible to providing their teams with exactly what Linda said: development, growth. What Janine said, creating leaders. And everybody has the ability to lead, but not everybody has the desire to lead, and that's okay. So I think one of the things we first got to find out from leaders is, do they want to lead? And too often, we've seen that people that have done so well at what they're doing get promoted into leadership. It's taken them 15 years to become, or 20 years, or whatever it was, to become so specialist and so good at what they're doing. And then they get shifted into a leadership role because they're good at what they're doing without any leadership development, without understanding the responsibilities that goes with leadership. And then they're expected to lead. And then when they don't lead properly, they take all the flack for that. And that's why I think we sit with an abundance of managers and a scarcity of leaders. And if you ask me the difference between the two is a manager will tell you what to do and a leader will ask you. So yeah, I think a good leader is just, while they're responsible for the outcome, they must look after and must provide support to those people that they're leading who are going to produce the outcomes and make sure that they are doing the best that they can. And one of the tough jobs there for leadership is actually to quickly get those people who are not buying into or aligning, who are only arriving just to get the paycheck, is to get them off the bus quite quickly. And I know it sounds harsh, but it's reality. We're living in a world where it is so competitive that we need high-performing teams, and you don't get high-performing teams if you reward mediocrity. And if I can share with you, it was a conversation I had with a leader yesterday that I'm busy working with. If you don't mind me sharing quickly. So he said they deliver furniture between Cape Town and I think it was Franschhoek. And when the furniture got there, the furniture was scratched, so the client wouldn't accept it. They brought it back. And so it cost them a fortune, and they had to re-spray the furniture, paint it. And I'm just going into, this is an example of a poor leader. They had to spray it again and then deliver it. So you can imagine now that the profit on that job was gone. So how did they fix it? I asked them, so what did you do to remedy this? And they said they incentivized them that if they delivered over a period, let's say it was 3 or 4 months, if they delivered all the goods on as they should be, they will give them a bonus. And I'm going, but isn't this what they're paid to do? They're paid to deliver this stuff on time and in good condition. And now you're going to reward them and a bonus for doing what they're supposed to do. And I think one's got to be very careful of that, because if you reward mediocrity or just what you're supposed to do, you're going to diminish excellence. So I think leaders have, and it's a hard job, because I think it was Janine or Linda said, I can't remember, they need to spend time with their people. And that's what makes it so tough. So yeah, I think that's the difference between a good leader and a poor leader, is one that really is actually part of the team and not a part from the team. But he carries all the responsibility. We could talk about this for days, so I'm going to shut up. It's Stephen, and I'm Stephen from Dare to Be Coaching Beyond, and I'm a global leaders coach because they have an influence on those they lead.
Thank you, Stephen. Hashtag leadership, hashtag follow the leader, hashtag learn from the best. I just have to share this with you guys, right? Last night we were at the Virtual Assistant Network, which if by now you don't know about this is freaking intense. Like Janine came up with this idea about 2 months ago. A month ago we had the first meeting, and then yesterday we had the second meeting, and there was already like such a number of people that were just like, it's just, and the VAs that are attending are getting so much value. But anyway, what I want to tell you guys is just a quick story about Stephen Levy. So Stephen Levy's presentation was so incredible last night. People were begging him for the slides. And then also what made it even awesomer is there was like 14,000 rands in prizes that were given away at the Virtual Assistant Network. Stephen gave one of the packages. So I know that that person's life is just like changed forever. But it was so funny when like halfway through his presentation, he stopped and he looked at the Janine and he was like, how am I doing for time? And she was like, you have about minus 15 minutes, Stephen. But she was so polite about it. It was so funny.
He was, yes. He's a good leader.
I just have to share that with you guys. That was awesome. So I think what I want to hear from you, because I'm going to start asking at least one question of you guys that are watching the show regularly, right? Because we want to get to know you. We want this to be a safe space where you can chat and where we can get to know you, where other entrepreneurs can get to know you. So I want you to tell me maybe of one of your moments that didn't go as planned, but then turned out awesome anyway in business. So I want you in the comments on this video, go and tell us of a moment in life where things weren't going exactly as planned, but it turned out awesome anyway. Please go and share that in the comments, guys. We can't wait to hear from you and get to know you better. Okay, but on to the next one. And this person I have some new respect for, because hashtag Megan, hashtag Bambi, hashtag Monja dressed up as a full-on ninja on this morning's FBuzz show. If you haven't seen that, please just go take a look. It is on the YouTube channel. It was released this morning. But okay, Megan, I can't wait to hear from you. Tell me you have your ninja outfit with you.
Thanks, Nesty, and hi everyone. And yeah, unfortunately, the ninja's on a mission at the moment, so you're stuck with the mom and the business owner here. Nesty, just to get onto the topic, I think for me, the biggest part of a leader and what I would expect from them, what I do expect from them, is falling under grit and grace, because I think that's the person that everyone in the team, even the other stakeholders, clients, etc., would look up to in the time of crisis. And if they don't have their emotions, their thoughts well under control, the team falls apart. So I think in terms of being an anchor to the team, that is so important. And then grace, the humanity. Treating your team like human beings and making sure that you know each and every person's area of genius or expertise and playing it up, making them shine in their space, but then also never to expect your team to do what you are not prepared to do yourself, because you lead by example, or you should be leading by example. And so I think those for me are the key areas. You are there to service or to serve your team and your clients, etc. But I think it's very important that they remember that their team is key. And that is the first lot of people they need to be looking after as leaders. Thank you very much. Megan, creative copywriting and content, and essentially I do tech and creative copywriting and content creation and creative works. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan.
Something I just wanted to throw in there, because this was actually an experience that I had as a child, was something my father used to say to me was, happy and content worker is a healthy and productive worker. And he was the production manager for a large company. They were over 5,000 staff. It was all production work, so it was staff building and putting things together in production and assembly lines. And him being the production manager with this mentality, I could never quite get it. You know, so many people, how do you do it? He just had this way with people, you know, where the people came first, and naturally the production flourished, and he did really well in his career. And we moved up country. We had been gone for about 10 years, and on a visit back to beautiful Cape Town, he decided to pop in to go and visit the current production manager that he knew when he was there before, who was one of his trainees. One thing that caught my attention was the fact that their staff retention was pretty much the same over 10 years. They hadn't really lost staff or changed staff. When he arrived after 10 years, the production manager said, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people here that would really like to see you again. And we took a walk through the production floor. And I've never seen anything like it. Factory came to a standstill. The entire production line stopped, and well over 2,000 people decided they're coming to say hello. That's 10 years later. So there's something there. And the question is, what is it? And I think I know him well enough to say that it was the way he treated people. It was the way he interacted. It was the way he thought about them first. He would fight for their rights as the production manager. There was such a level of respect that he would put them first, and they would go out of their way to overachieve, not for the company. They would go out of their way to achieve for him. That to me is a good leader.
I love that, Peter. That's an awesome, awesome story. And I've heard it a couple of times, but every time I hear it, I get goosebumps. And I know that you're going to be that leader for Explore ProTech.
I'll just need another 4,950 people to lead.
So guys, like pick up on the referral, okay? Okay. So straight from copywriting into digital marketing, Joshua, I know that you have filled many leadership roles and you've thought about filling other leadership roles. And I know you just have a massive opinion on leadership. So please, can you tell us, in your opinion, what are the things that all good leaders do?
Typically, a good leader shares. They share everything that they have in regards to knowledge, to resources, to insight, all the above. Through self-investment or going through self-realizations or having that moment of self-enlightenment can you be a leader, because one, what are you going to do with all that you've learned? Are you going to keep it to yourself, or are you going to share it with others? And then once you share that is wealth as itself, because knowledge is power. It definitely does bends the very fabric of everything when regarding. And honestly, if you can't help yourself, how you think you're possibly going to ever be able to help anybody else? So if first, definitely tap in within yourself first before you try to tap into anybody else. Because I'm probably going to go on the offensive side if you try to tap into me, and I don't think you're qualified for it because you haven't tapped in yourself. So I'm going to find it inappropriate. So I'm gonna have to probably, do a restraining order on that individual because that's inappropriate. But anyways, so when it comes to tapping in people, don't you just tap people random. You gotta tap yourself first before you tap anybody else. Okay. All right. Hashtag it tap. Don't get tapped. Hashtag it. I'm just saying.
I love that, Joshua. Thank you so much. And that is Joshua from?
No, who's your web post? Indianapolis, Indiana. Who's your web post?
Epic. Joshua from Who's Your Web blah 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 post. That was terrible. Hashtag tap yourself first. Don't be a tap.
First it was who's your daddy. First you guys said who's your daddy. Now you said who's your web. Whoa. You guys like we're gonna get a coffee date. We're gonna get my business name right. Okay, we're gonna get it right. Everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Joshua. I love that. Sharing. Share as a leader. That's great. And you can't do that if you haven't filled up your own cup first. So that's amazing. Next up, I want to hear from one of the most amazing leaders that we've met. She's in such a high leadership position. Kelsey, I'm pretty sure you have so much to share with us. What are the things that all good leaders do, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I think everyone here has covered a lot of it, but my personal view towards it is I don't expect anyone to do something that I wouldn't do first or help, so as a leader, you should be able to guide and walk those that are following you along the same path and encourage them to even push further. So, and they're not going to want to follow you or do what you're asking of them if you're not willing to step up and do it yourself. So that's my biggest thing. Words are hard at 6 a.m.
So you're in the U.S. as well then?
Yeah, I'm in Wisconsin.
I'm finally, I'm now on here because I'm like 6 or 7 in the morning thing. I'm like, y'all want me to look bad in the morning. Apparently, y'all won't like me looking bad in the morning.
No, yeah. But just I think that would be my biggest tip is like, don't, do what you're willing, do what others, oh my gosh, do what you want others to do. So like, step up to the plate. And if you can't step up to the plate, then nobody else will for you. So I'm Kelsey with Adelia Ray Marketing. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. I love that, leading by example.
That's actually it's actually very important. I think people underestimate the importance of actually having the ability to do what you expect others to do. Because if you can't do it and you're expecting them to do it, their level of respect is right out of the window. So learn first. Yeah.
Guys, so I think that covers all of our different perspectives for this one question. I want to challenge us just a little bit to answer the question like even deeper. What is one practical thing that we can do, like physically do, like put on a to-do list, that will help us be a better leader? Because it's all about doing the things that good leaders do, right? So I want to hear your one base thing. So for example, Linda said we need to care. How does that look like in the boardroom? What is the thing that you're going to put on your to-do list? Like speak to employee daily or something. What are those things? Okay, so let's go with that. So let's start again. Linda.
Yeah, so it is that, Nestine. It's let's say you're going to have a meeting and you've got a project that you want to bring to their attention, and there's a whole lot of tasks to be done. And the meeting starts at 10 a.m. and it ends at 11 a.m. Spend at least the first 5 minutes just saying, hey, how you guys doing? Grab yourself a cup of coffee. Just want to make sure that we're all on track. This is the agenda. Anybody want to add anything? Are you guys okay with that? Is you nothing else is going to take up your attention? So you're just checking in. It's the check-in, right? It doesn't matter. In my coaching as well, and this is something I had to be reminded. You do forget these things. I had to be reminded. I started my business and I set up an agenda for the coaching one-on-one with someone. And then I'd launch right into it. I'd be like, okay, so today we've got to get this done and that done and the next thing done. Right, you ready? Go, let's go. And then I realized that I wasn't getting the results that I was hoping for, right? There was distraction. There was a sort of blank look on the person's face. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that what I was doing wrong was not allowing the safe space, not sort of just checking in. Hey, Nestine, thank you for turning up today. Are you feeling good? Are you ready for this? What's been going on? Without going into too much small talk, because that can just derail the whole conversation. But just that initial, can you pick up something that is not right? Is the person just looking very distracted? Are they looking off into the distance? Are they checking their phone? Because then you haven't got the attention of the person or people. And so that check-in is vital. And since I've reintroduced it in my interactions with people, it's had the most amazing effect. So that's my one tip for leaders. Just have the check-in at the beginning of your interactions with the people. The dent, just ask Linda Business Coaching. And I won't say I help my clients to pee with glee again, but I do help them to plan, energize themselves, and take action. PEA. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda. That's super practical. I love that, guys. Keep those types of tips coming because that's something you can put on a to-do list, right? Every meeting, spend 5 minutes on check-in. I like that. Thank you. Let's hear from a next practical tip. Janine.
Being positive. It is really that simple. I know life is messy, life can be chaotic, but as a leader is the one tip is to stay positive. If you struggle with that, listen to affirmations. Say to yourself that you are a great leader. The leaders behind you is following you for the reasons you want. So having a positive mind will create such an amazing energy with the leaders that you're trying to create. You're going to be blown away with that. So stay positive and surround yourself with people that will keep your fire burning. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, your virtual sales office.
Thank you, Janine. So if you guys want to put down a practical thing on that one, stay positive. Watch Janine's positive affirmation video. It is on the YouTube channel and it is amazing. Next up, the Levy himself, Stephen. I can't wait. What's the practical tip? Please share.
Okay, I got one that you can write down, and I think it's so important to leaders is to listen. And there is so much knowledge and potential sitting right under their noses. And it's a natural thing for them to want, with good intention, to tell people what to do, but sometimes they need to listen to those that are in the daily grind. There's two things that will happen when they listen is they will be able to assess at what level or what competency level, how their people are thinking. They'll actually be surprised at what ideas come out, especially if they're looking for improvement in areas. Who better to tell you how to improve certain areas that if you're looking in a warehouse, the packing, than the people themselves that are doing the packing. And you know that old maxim that I'm going to share with you is that, you know, if the CEO wants the basement swept more efficiently, and then he goes and tells the guy sweeping the basement what broom to use and how to do it. And there's an old maxim that I heard from one of the co-founders of Starbucks, who said that let the person who sweeps the floor choose his own broom, because the leader's probably never swept the floor before. So I think that, yeah, and I've seen it. It's been wonderful. I've seen it in the boardrooms. As soon as they start listening, you cannot believe the ideas and the suggestions that come out from those people that are at the coalface. So yeah, that's it. Just keep quiet speak last. You know, Nelson Mandela said that there's a story about him. They asked him where he learned great leadership. And he said from his father, because for those people that aren't in South Africa, amongst the Khoisas, which is one of the black tribes in South Africa, and that's where Nelson Mandela was from, they asked him where he learned leadership, and he said he learned it from his father. And the tribal tradition was for them to sit in the huts, and all the tribe leaders would sit in the huts, and they would discuss whatever would needed to be discussed that day. And his father said to him, always, when you're sitting, he always used to speak last. And that's what made him such a great leader. So you can either speak last or just listen. And that's Stephen from Dare to Be Coaching and Beyond.
I love that, Stephen. Thank you. I have to make a note on my wall about that. Speak last. Stop laughing. Wow. I'm going to put it on the wall. I will own this leadership thing.
Yes, please.
Okay, Peter, you're going to be up always first. Lucky you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next person. What tip can we put on our to-do list for leadership? Megan, Bambi, #momja.
Nestin, I'm going to revisit the be prepared to do what you expect from your team. And I'm going to also relate a little story that I experienced. I was a regional sales manager for a company, and I was looking after 3 regional areas, but it was always an issue between the sales team, the warehouse. You know, these things happen. Logistics don't work with sales, sales don't work with logistics. At the end of the day, the client is disappointed. And so what I did, I started implementing a way where my staff, my team, and myself would rotate duties with other divisions within the company. So for one afternoon, we would pack boxes in the warehouse, and we would pack stock in the warehouse, and we would tag everything, and we would go through all the processes from when the stock would arrive at our door. So the PDC, the checking of the stock, etc., going through all the processes. And so you find that people start understanding one another, starting to see where issues might come into play, where there are miscommunications between one division to another. And it also gives people a different perspective of you as a leader or a more senior person that they might not mingle with every day. They'll get to see a different side to you. And as I think Stephen mentioned earlier, the level of respect and appreciation for one another, it increases dramatically. And so we manage to maximize efficiency within our entire company due to that exercise. So I think, again, just find one little way where you can make someone share an experience and have empathy with the next one, even though they might be not working together every day or every single minute of every day, but you definitely gain a lot as a company out of that experience. And I am Megan at Megan Creative Content and Copywriting. And if you are looking for a case study, if you've got a fantastic customer experience you want to share, I'm the powerful writer that will put the story together for you and get it out there. Thank you very much.
Wow, mic drop, Megan. That was a freaking fabulous story. And I love how practical it is. Like, we can actually implement that. Like, we can make Janine do the leadership coaching for a week, and then Stephen can do all the sales for a week. It's gonna be fabulous, guys. We can
Can I suggest?
Yes.
So can I suggest that we put Steve Levy on technology and IT?
I love it. Okay, Joshua, tell me, what is your big practical tip that we can actually put on a to-do list for our leadership that will make us better leaders?
Oh, there you go. Okay. I would say, instead of putting all your eggs into one basket, each egg has their own separate basket. Because if you just have all your eggs in one basket, your risks of you dropping them can lose everything. But at least when you have an egg in separate baskets, I mean, it's self-explanatory. You have an egg still. So definitely try to consolidate, organize much more, implement more tasks, and definitely become more, what's the word? Attentive. Being attentive is a very, very crucial thing to understand, because consistency makes results. So that means it's being consistent with being attentive. With attentiveness, you know, your clients or customers are going to stay by with you because they're going to love the fact that you could literally just turn around on the workload. So I'll just basically become an AI, turn into a robot. I'm just playing. Don't do that. but be a robot with heart. You know, think of like the Tin Man on Wizard of Oz. You got the heart now at the end. You know, so you got the automation down pat, and then you got this heart that the Wiz gave you at the end. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. It's an old movie, Wizard of Oz. You know, it's something. But that's the whole concept. You know, just be attentive, be consistent, be naturally, I mean, if you are, already a genuine individual, but basically just do your job, do your work, just do it. Do it.
Thank you, Joshua. I love it. Okay, so that's a whole lot of things we can put on our to-do list. And Kelsey, from you, what can we put on our to-do list to be a better leader?
Yeah. So to be a better leader, just be genuine in your leadership. Be honest. As a leader, you can be open and communicative with your staff or with those that are following you, without being and transparent, without having to give away, as a leader, sometimes there's not everything that you can talk about, but you don't have to talk about everything, but there are pieces of that you can share with those that you're leading, to get them to want to do their job or follow you or do more. So just be genuine in who you are and who you are as a leader.
Always be genuine. I love that, Kelsey. You're such a beautiful human being. Okay, so we're almost ready to wrap up this show. I think I certainly got a lot of tips from here. I'm going to be talking about putting all of this on the list. But before we go, we have a person hiding in the background. This is our visibility ninja / educational genius / planning to change and save the world / Anjali. Do you want to share with us your best being a better leader?
Helping the world one game at a time and one smile at a time. Okay, anyway, so I came here halfway in. I can speculate kind of what's going on, but one thing that comes to mind regarding leadership is choosing the people you surround you with wisely, because there is no point in leadership if you do not have anyone to lead. And it's about the people that you surround you with that makes and creates the dreams that you have in mind. So that's, in a sense, an idea, the equal, distribution of individuals. I don't know.
Thank you so much, Anjali. And you are Anjali, and your company is called?
Hi, I'm Anjali, and my company is called Malicious Splendor, and I specialize in virtual learning environments and game development. Thank you.
Awesomeness. Cool.
Awesome.
Getting a little bit better at that.
Before we end, to all leaders out there, if you view your leadership as status, your management position as status, your CEO as status, get off your high horse. It doesn't give you status. It doesn't make you important. It makes you needed. It makes you needed by the people that you're leading. So if you view it as status, then you're thinking all about yourself and you shouldn't be in that position in the first place. Get out of there and let somebody else that is needed step into a role where they can actually lead people. If you are that person that views it as status, change, because you will find that if you change and you become the person that's needed by the people, they will follow you. So have fun with that.
Thank you, Peter. I just wanted to say, in terms of what Anjali said as well, surrounding yourself with people that are worth leading. Like, I know, and Stephen Levy will tell you, you lead yourself first. But I just want to share with you, I hate being a leader. I really do. It's a lot of freaking work and difficult. But when you have people around you that are as awesome as the people that you see on your screen right now, I'll step up there anyway. You can put me in front of a fire, make me walk down a waterfall. I'll jump into space, whatever you want me to do. Linda, no, I'm not doing that for real. She's like smiling.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
But I just love you guys so much. So I'm willing to do what it takes, at this point to make sure we get to the other side. So if you guys need me in leadership, I'm there. If you need me to answer my emails, I'll do that every second day. But also, Anjali was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Guys, you've all been absolutely amazing. Thank you for giving your value. Facebook and YouTube, thank you for watching us. It's because of you guys that we are able to do this. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and let us know down in the comments below. We want to get to know you. What is a moment in your life or in your business that didn't go as planned, but turned out awesome anyway?
And to top it off, if there is somebody that has said something that you can relate to and you want to know more, or you found that the direction that they were answering the question from is something that you want to understand more about, these people are available. That is the whole point, a safe space that you can do business. You can reach out to these people. You can have a chat to these people. They're right here. So reach out. Call me. Yeah.
Come on, everyone, follow Linda's lead. What are you doing? Call me. I look like I want to shoot myself. Guys, we love you. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place, with a different question. Also, if you have questions for us, pop them into the comments. We want to answer them for you. Lots of love, and may all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true. Ciao.